Okay, so what I want to talk to you about today are mantras. Okay, was with my friends this weekend, and he actually requested that I make this video. I explained to him what a mantra is and why I use them, and he said that would be a great video to make, and he'd love to see it himself. So here you go. So, a mantra, really quick, just so you understand what it is in case you don't know. A mantra is basically, it comes from Sanskrit, but basically it means a word or a phrase of words, a statement that has a psychological power to it. Let me explain what that means. So, simply put, I've mentioned this many times before, we have 70,000 thoughts every single day. And of those, 90% of those we repeat. So it's a lot of repetition in thought. So what it is the inner monologue going inside your head, the things you're saying to yourself are a piece of the puzzle. That is one thing that tells you what you believe about yourself, how you perceive the world, whether you can or can't do something. That creates an emotional state. Sometimes the emotional state can trigger the inner thought, but they work together. So the way you're feeling and the things you're saying to yourself create a mindset. They create a perception of the world, and therefore you're gonna perform and get certain quality results based on what you believe, what you think, what you're telling yourself you can do, right? So what you want to do is the whole goal with meditation, everything I talk about, is rewriting those files, reprogramming your mind so you're not having 70,000 negative thoughts. So that the bulk or the majority or all, ideally, of all the thoughts you're having are thoughts that are healthy, that are inspirational, that are positive, that are motivating, that help you achieve your goals, make you believe in yourself, tell you you're good enough, all those kind of good things, make you love yourself and make healthy decisions. But that's not usually the case for all of us, right? We're usually stressed and negative or overwhelmed. If we sit long enough alone, we start to tear ourselves down. So you got to have something in place that not only helps you get out of depressed states and helps you feel motivated for your day, but whenever you have something happen in your day or in your life, if something tragic happens, if you have a problem, if stress hits you, if there's something you're worried about, you want to be able to move yourself out of that negative mindset into a mindset that is solution-oriented, that's positive, that's objective, and that allows you to think strategically and make a good, healthy decision that later you'll feel good about, okay? Instead of worrying before and then making a bad decision, make a good objective decision and then feel good afterward, right? It's confirmation. So a mantra, what a mantra does for you is basically it's I like to think of it as a packed full of power, word or phrase. Because what's going to happen, just like you can hear a song on the radio and it takes you right back to a time, or you can smell a scent, like a perfume or something you smelled at a specific time, and it shoots you right back to that moment in time. So a mantra, you want to do the same thing for you. You want it to be a statement, a phrase that you can call out anytime, and it puts you right back into a state of being a certain mindset. So what I like to do is come up with a phrase that means something to you. It needs to speak to you, something you think is cool, something you like, something that you remember, something that touches you or affects you, impacts you in a positive way. So you create a mantra. I'll give you one of mine. So one of my ones that I really like right now is I have this one that I say, regardless of how I feel, I always act grateful. So regardless of how I feel, I always act grateful. The reason this one's so powerful for me is because, first of all, I work with a lot of clients every day going through therapy, depression, anxiety, etc. And what I realized through my many years of doing work is that sometimes we can do everything right in our life. Sometimes we can even be successful. We can do step 1, 2, 3 and equal success and get the result we want, but we don't feel good about it. Sometimes our feelings don't match our results. So you can be doing great in life. You can have your career going great, your relationship going great, but you just don't feel right inside. And sometimes that's just, sometimes it's an emotional, chemical thing. Sometimes there's something else going on inside of ourselves, maybe the way we feel about ourselves. So my point is, our emotions won't always match our results. And so sometimes you just have to get outside of overthinking and you just got to take action. Like if you feel bad, if you're negative, if you feel depressed and down, the best thing to do is get up and move. I always say motion creates emotion. Just get up and go do something. Go for a hike, go for a jog, go for a walk. Next thing you know, you're feeling different. You're feeling better. So the same thing with a mantra. And so emotions, you got to just kind of kick them in gear sometimes. You can't sit and try to outwork them. You got to get up and change them by moving your state, moving your focus, etc. So this mantra means a lot to me. Regardless of how I feel, I always act grateful because it tells me be in charge of who you want to be. So you may feel off, still act with gratitude, still act with integrity, still be the person you want to be, because guess what? Your emotions will catch up to you. And it's powerful. Ever since I've been saying that mantra, I've found that in moments where my emotions don't match my results, or if I'm not, I have a day, wake up, had a great day yesterday, wake up today and you feel a little funky, you feel a little off. I don't want to feel that way. I don't deserve to feel that way, and my results are going to prove different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remind myself, just keep acting with gratitude, keep acting with integrity, keep acting like the person you want to be. And very soon you'll feel like that person, because trust me, if you're depressed and you sink into your depression, you stay on the couch and you keep running negative thoughts to your mind and questioning what you're doing with your life and doubting things, you're going to go down in a hole. But if you feel depressed and you're sitting on the couch and you don't feel great and you say, you know what, I may be depressed, but I can't really put my finger on it. There's nothing really going on why I should be depressed. I just feel that way. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go take a walk. I'm going to go to a park that I think is beautiful. I'm going to spend 20 or 30 minutes walk around and clearing my head. Because why sit there and suffer, right? Get up and get out where it's beautiful. You know it's going to be beautiful outside. You know being outside is good for you. You know that you love going to the park. And guess what? Next thing you know, your mind's on something else. Go listen to an audiobook. Go listen to some music. Just get outside and change your state. Boom. Next thing you know, you're in a different place, okay? So mantras are very powerful. I'd like for you to challenge yourself to create one for yourself this week. It's Monday. It's a perfect timing to do this. So sit down and just come up with a statement that means something to you. It can be anything. I have another one that says, I leave every situation better than I found it. That's a mantra I live by. I leave every situation better than I found it. And that consciously reminds me and unconsciously reminds me, it creates a habit of behavior that every situation I go into, I make sure that I'm going to do a couple things, which that statement means to me, which is if I'm going to leave it better than I found it, that means I want to make sure and bring value to the situation. I want to listen to the other person objectively. I want to try to see the world from their point of view. I want to make sure my message gets across. I want to make sure that my message is understood. And I'm going to try to be strategic so I can always solve the problem. No matter what comes at me, whether it's something wrong with me, something's going on, I want to try to solve that and make it better. So if I'm going to leave it, I'm not going to leave it until things are better. And that sticks with me, and therefore, that's how I approach life and approach situations, and it becomes your attitude, okay? So create a statement, whatever it is for you. I have many, many statements. I, Brett, am the voice of empowerment. God, please put the words in my mouth today people need to hear. These things put me in a powerful state. They empower my mind, get me focused, and remind me who I want to be. So have some fun today. Sit down, create a statement for yourself, and make sure it's loaded. Make sure that statement has a lot of power behind it. It means a lot of things to you, and make sure it's important, because you want to make sure you're saying something that's going to stick. And then throughout your day, maybe write it in your phone, maybe put a little reminder, and every couple hours check in and look at it. But definitely use it whenever you feel funky, when you feel unmotivated, uninspired, or stuck. And it'll help start to turn things around. But for now, write one and start using it. Read it 3 to 4 times a day. I guarantee you by the end of the week, you're going to feel different. You're going to start to notice that behavior has changed in yourself. It's evolved, and it'll be closer to what your ideal is. And then you can just start creating more of those. The more you do, the more the areas of your life you start to empower, and the more you start to design your thinking the way you want it to be. All right, great, guys. I hope you have a wonderful week. Happy Monday. And feel free to send me over your mantras. Let me see what you guys have, and have a lot of fun. Thanks.